You may have heard of composting before, but not quite like this. Andrew Falzone explains how the Department of Sanitation and the Prospect Park Alliance are using composting to make the concrete jungle greener.
At Prospect Park, the old well house has been transformed into a restroom, and without a connection to city water or sewer lines, architect Alden Madry and the Prospect Park Alliance had to get creative.
Originally, the well house was used as a component of our water system in the park. The well house housed a boiler that powered a pump that pumped water throughout the stream system. Because we're so far away from a city sewer line, it means that it would be very expensive to run pipes and pumps out to that city sewer line. So this is a self-contained system that doesn't need to connect to the city system.
Traditional composting methods yield a nutrient-rich soil from the decomposition of vegetables and fruit with organic material like leaves and grass clippings. However, the restrooms at Prospect Park are composting human waste rather than food scraps and other organics.
It hasn't been done in a New York City park before, but it has been done in other locations in New York City. The Bronx Zoo has a system like this, and the Queens Botanical Garden also has this system in place. So we wanted to make sure that it's a sort of proven method before we decided to use it.
Toilets are typically connected to a septic tank or sewage line, which leaves the waste in a wet, swamp-like atmosphere. The fixtures at Prospect Park Well House, however, send waste to a dry tank filled with two main ingredients.
In the beginning, the tanks are filled with wood chips. But then after about 6 months of use, then worms are added into the system, and they break down everything and sort of make everything into usable compost.
This process is known as vermicasting. Vermicasting is when worms break down materials, leaving a humus-like manure behind, which enriches the compost with nutrients, a process that tank manufacturer Clivus Multrum says can reduce waste volume by nearly 90%.
They sort of churn through everything, and we need to keep a certain humidity and temperature for them, like a good environment for them to sort of thrive on.
A fully mature compost can take between 5 and 10 years to be ready, depending on restroom use. Once it is ready, the compost will be removed and the material will be transported to a site that's been approved by the Department of Environmental Conservation and placed in the soil, enriching it for plant life. But that's not the only unique aspect to this well house. Another major part of this system are the atypical plumbing fixtures.
The differences in the plumbing fixtures are that the toilets have foam in them rather than a lot of water. There's a very small amount of water that's used in the toilets. We use 3 to 4 ounces per use, as opposed to 1.6 gallons, which a normal fixture would use. It's a 97% savings in the water. And we've estimated that we save 250,000 gallons of water a year by using this system.
This water savings isn't exclusive to the toilets. Utilizing wastewater from the sinks was a priority for the Prospect Park Alliance as well.
Our gray water system uses the water that's from our hand sinks and the floor drains in the building to feed into a garden that we built in the front of the building. And that garden, we excavated a long trench and filled it with a particular type of soil that's good for absorbing water. And within that soil, we planted native grasses that are also suitable for this environment. So the advantage of the gray water garden is all of that water is not being fed into the wastewater tank or into the city sewer line. So that helps to save a lot of water usage.
While this unique form of composting requires you to visit sites like Prospect Park, the Bronx Zoo, and the Queens Botanic Garden, you can still be an active composter in the traditional sense. Keep an eye out for any of the city's 101 food scrap drop-off sites and the brown bins in residential areas. But remember, unlike Prospect Park, food scraps and organics only, no human or pet waste in these bins. I'm Andrew Falzone for Science and You.